This is Ask a Couples Counsellor, a show that answers all the relationship questions you're too afraid to ask. On the show, we'll take your questions and give you the tools you need to build trust and intimacy with your partner. I'm your host, Neha Kapoor. I'm a registered clinical counsellor and psychotherapist, and I'm really passionate about helping couples navigate the challenges that we all go through. Because after all, every relationship encounters some stormy weather now and then. Hello and welcome to another episode of Ask a Couples Counsellor. Today's episode dives deep into the messy, tender realities of blended families, where love, loss, loyalty, and hope collide all at once. It's about the invisible wounds kids carry when family shapes shift, the delicate dance of making new bonds feel real, and the heartbreak when a relationship you want to protect feels like it's slipping through your fingers. If you've ever wondered how to hold space for every heart in your family, how to build belonging without erasing history, or how to stay anchored when love gets complicated, this is for you. No sugarcoating, just honest, raw, real. All right, let's get into it. Our first question for today comes from Sarah in Sydney. Let's have a listen to Sarah's question.
So my ex-husband and I have 3 kids together, and while our separation was complicated, we've resolved everything now and we actually work really well as co-parents. The problem is that my oldest 2 don't want to stay at their dad's house anymore. My ex-husband has remarried to a woman who has 2 kids from a previous relationship, and my kids feel like their dad has replaced them with their new step-siblings. The kids actually get along all really well, so the issue is just between my kids and their dad. Should I try and help my ex to repair that relationship, or should I just butt out and leave it all alone? How do I support my kids in this situation?
Sarah, look, this is such a tender, complicated space you're navigating because when it comes to blended families and co-parenting, the heart doesn't follow neat rules or timelines. Your kids feeling displaced isn't about the step-siblings. They actually get along, but about the emotional landscape shifting under their feet. It's a loss they're mourning, even if it doesn't look like what you'd expect. They're grieving the family they once knew, the exclusive place they had with their dad. Your instinct to wonder whether to step in or step back is so common. And it's not about choosing sides. It's about holding space for both your kids and your ex, separately and together. Yes, it's important to support your ex-husband in repairing that relationship because at the core, the kids need to know their dad still sees them as irreplaceable. But it's equally vital to empower your kids with validation and permission to feel confused, sad, or even angry without judgment. One couple I worked with was in a very similar place. 2 children struggling to connect with their dad after he remarried. The dad felt stuck and frustrated. The kids felt invisible in their own family. We helped them create what I call emotional check-in rituals. A simple weekly time when dad would dedicate just 20 minutes for them alone. No step-siblings, no distractions, just listening, sharing, and reconnecting. The dad also learned to openly acknowledge the feelings of loss without trying to fix or minimize them. Over time, the kids started showing up again, not just physically, but emotionally. Here's the truth you need to hold on to. You can't force this repair, but you can be the sturdy bridge between your kids and their dad. You're the safe place where their feelings matter and where hope for that connection can quietly rebuild. Your role isn't to fix the relationship, but to nurture the soil so the roots can grow again. Co-parenting is the marathon you didn't sign up for, but the finish line is worth every step because at the heart of it, it's about love evolving, not ending. I hope that answers your question, Sarah. Our second question for today comes from Damien in Sydney. Let's have a listen to Damien's question.
I'm going to propose to my partner of 2 years. She has kids from a previous relationship, and I want them to feel included as well. How do I make them feel special so it's something that we're doing as a family?
Damien, first of all, congratulations. Proposing is a beautiful, bold step, and wanting to include her kids shows you're thinking beyond just us to all of us. That kind of awareness, it's everything. Blending families is like planting a new garden where different roots have already grown. So the kids need to feel seen and valued in this new chapter, not like outsiders, but like essential parts of the story you're all writing together. So here's the real magic, it's less about the big gestures and more about the small, consistent moments where you show them they belong. Ask them what excites them about your future as a family. Invite them into the planning. Maybe it's picking music for the proposal, helping choose a date, or even creating a family promise together about how you'll support each other. When kids get to contribute, they feel ownership and pride. I worked with a couple where the new partner was nervous about stepping into the role with her fiance's two kids. They started simple weekly family meetings where everyone shared hopes, worries, and ideas. Before the engagement, the fiance invited the kids to write their own messages or create small gifts to include in the proposal. On the day, those proposal touches weren't just meaningful, they were a signal this wasn't just about two adults, it was about all of them. So remember, you're not replacing anyone. You're building something new where everyone has a place. So your intention to include them doesn't just help them feel special, it lays the foundation for trust, belonging, and a family that chooses each other every day. So proposing isn't just a question for your partner, it's an invitation to your whole new tribe. Make them feel like the VIPs they deserve to be. I hope that answers your question, Damien. Our last question for today comes from Paul in Sydney. Let's have a listen to Paul's question.
So I've got a bit of a problem. My 19-year-old daughter, I'm pretty sure she hates my wife. Her mother and I divorced when she was 12, and she kind of refused to accept it when she was younger. She was like always trying to get us to get back together. Anyways, I got married about a year ago to my now wife, and she's, one, refused to come to the wedding, and she won't spend any time with me if she thinks my wife is going to be there. She doesn't think I know, but I can see that that's the case. My daughter barely speaks to my wife, and they've never really had any arguments, but that's because they're never like in the same room together. She just refuses to come to things that she's at. So the problem is that it's really upsetting my wife, but it's also affecting the relationship that I have with my daughter. I have no idea what I'm going to do. I feel like if I'm going to get one, I'm going to lose the other. It's very frustrating.
Oh, Paul, this is one of those heart-wrenching situations where love, loyalty, and grief collide in ways that don't come with a manual. I hear you. Your daughter isn't just resisting your wife. She's wrestling with a loss she never fully got to grieve, a family she wished could stay whole. When a child holds on to the hope of reunion for so long, the reality of a new marriage feels like a personal rejection, even if that's not what's happening. Your daughter's silence and avoidance aren't just about your wife. They're about her feeling powerless in a family story that's changed without her consent. And your wife's hurt? That's real too. She's caught in the middle of a love triangle she never asked to be part of. However, there's good news. This can be navigated, but it takes time, patience, and a refusal to force connection. One couple I worked with was in the exact same place. The dad's teenage daughter was shutting down every attempt at family blending. Instead of pushing, they focused on holding the space for her grief without trying to fix it. Dad kept the door open by carving out regular one-on-one time with his daughter, no talk about the wife, no pressure, just connection. He validated her feelings openly, saying things like, I know this is hard, and I'm here even when you're upset. Meanwhile, the wife stepped back and found ways to support dad without demanding the daughter's approval. Over months, walls started to soften, not because the daughter suddenly loved the wife, but because she felt safe enough to just be herself around her dad again. Here's the bottom line. You can't rush healing or force love where it's not ready to grow. But you can be the sturdy anchor of your daughter, showing up consistently, listening without judgment, and protecting the space for all their feelings, even the messy ones. And by doing that, you create a foundation where one day, maybe slowly and imperfectly, those fractured relationships begin to mend. Family isn't about perfect harmony. It's about holding each other through the hard stuff, even when it hurts like hell. I hope that answers your question, Paul. All right, that's it for today. And before I go, if you have any burning questions you want answered, send them to novoempowercounselling@gmail.com. Let's navigate this journey together because better relationships start with understanding. I can't wait to hear from you. You've been listening to Ask a Couples Counselor, a show that answers all the relationship questions you're too afraid to ask. This show is produced by Novo Empower Counselling. We provide a range of services, including couples counselling, individual counselling, and online counselling. To find out more, visit our website novoempowercounselling.com.au. This show was produced with strategy and production support from Wavelength Creative. To make sure you don't miss an episode of Ask a Couples Counselor, be sure to subscribe to or follow the show in your podcast app. And while you're there, I'd love it if you could leave me a 5-star review. It really helps others find the show. I'm your host, Neha Kapoor, and I'll see you in the next episode.